Welcome to Order 42. I am Rob, and today we're going to be going over the news of the week. I mean, we've got all kinds of movie news. We've got some streaming news. We've got some release date changes. Some moving back, one moving forward. It's kind of interesting stuff. And I just want to let you know that I really got a lot of good feedback from the last, I guess the first episode on YouTube. So I'm really excited about this moving forward. And if you have any comments on anything we've talked about today, I mean we're talking about any of the release dates, any changes, any of the announcements for movies and stuff. Leave them down in the comments section below. We'll continue this conversation. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So yeah, let's get into some of these release date changes. From Deadline, we got this news the other day that Godzilla vs Kong is moving up. So the what we talked about last week with the this sort of fight between Legendary and Warner Brothers over the release of movies in 2021 simultaneously to HBO Max and in theaters. Apparently, they've worked out this deal with Legendary because they've moved this up to March 26th for Godzilla vs Kong. I'm really excited about this. It also bodes well for what may happen for Dune, because that was part of the deal, right? They were saying that they may say, you know what, you guys can do whatever you want to do with Godzilla vs Kong as long as we get a theatrical release for Dune, because it's important moving forward as a franchise. So yeah, this is some pretty interesting news here. And then we got the unfortunate news that the Sopranos prequel movie has been moved back. So this was originally going to come out on March 12th. It's now coming out on September 24th. This is called The Many Saints of Newark. It is a prequel to the Sopranos series. So I'm excited for it. I guess we're just going to have to wait. Now, this is going to be another one of those that has a simultaneous release with HBO Max and theaters. So this is going to be an interesting one. Then we got the news that No Time to Die is also going to be pushed back. Now this hasn't been announced like for sure yet, but I think that's the thing, is that there's a lot of talk that this is going to happen, because originally this is supposed to come out on April 2nd. Of course, it was supposed to come out May of 2020. So this is continually being pushed back, but hopefully we do get to see it in the fall. And yeah, we also got the news that Morbius, Jared Leto's superhero vehicle for the Sony superhero universe, with Spider-Man and Venom, that's also being pushed back from March 18th over to October 8th now. So yeah, I mean, this is going to happen, and it's going to continue to happen until the vaccine really takes hold and the theaters are more comfortable opening up. I mean, we had the information just last week that Regal is going to be opening their theaters back up, hopefully in March. So I think until there's like a full, hey, the theaters are open, we're ready for business, I think we're going to continue to see these delays. So I think we can look forward to a lot more than that too. So back on the Disney Investor Day presentation, Kevin Feige did announce that Black Widow would be a theatrical only release. It would not have this simultaneous release on Disney Plus, maybe even via that Premier Access sort of thing that they did back with Mulan. It's going to be interesting to see if they can keep it where it is, or if they're going to move that one back as well. We're going to keep an eye on it. Now, this came up over the weekend as well, that Zack Snyder apparently confirmed that no longer is the Snyder Cut going to be a 4-episode mini-series on HBO Max. No, it's going to be released as a one-shot. Someone just flat out asked him, is this still a series or a one-shot watch of a movie? Zack Snyder replied that it's a one-shot. Now, to me, that makes sense narratively, right? I mean, the movie was originally written as a movie, right? And the idea that you're going to try to cut it up into some episodes for like a little mini-series, it may not make sense. I mean, especially when there's, many times in movies, there's a scene that basically is just to get you from this point to this point, and you kind of want to end your episodes in a series. You kind of want to end them in a way that makes sense for that episode. the idea that it wasn't written with that in mind, I mean, it could be a little awkward. I mean, somebody could be like, Flash could be like, hey, I'm just gonna run to the closet real quick and grab my, my belt or whatever, and then that's when the episode ends. It could be a really awkward thing. But the idea that they're going forward with this makes sense narratively. I just don't know it makes sense for the plan of HBO Max and Warner Brothers. I mean, they've been recently they've been talking a lot about how they're suffering. Subscriber count is suffering, and they need some way to have people not just check it out, but to stick around for a while. The idea of having an episodic series like this kind of ensures that people are going to stick around to watch it. It's the same thing that they had with Game of Thrones, and yeah, it was the news with that came out recently that they lost over 50% of their subscribers after the Game of Thrones finale. So even though, like I said, this makes sense narratively, it probably makes sense for the movie itself, for the thing itself, the Snyder Cut. Just may not make sense for HBO Max. We'll see how this goes. So in other HBO Max HBO series news, we found out that the original plan was to have the Chernobyl director going to be making this show, and apparently he's out due to scheduling conflicts. Now, I mean, this sounds a lot better than the typical creative differences thing that we hear a lot in the industry, where it basically means, yeah, we didn't like where this is going, and I'm out of here. So now they've got Kantemir Balagov coming in to direct, and of course he's very excited to be a part of it. The idea that you have the executive producer of Chernobyl, along with Neil Druckmann, the creator writer of The Last of Us, the video game, coming in to do this. I always find it really interesting when you have a video game that's got this very cinematic way of telling its story, a cinematic quality to it, and the idea that they're now turning around and making a series out of it. So even making it more like a movie, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. And yeah, I'm rooting for it. Now this one, just chalk this one up to just sheer morbid curiosity here. I mean, there's so many actors in this project, it's ridiculous. So David O. Russell, right? He's a director who had a lot of attention back in the day with Three Kings, with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg and Spike Jonze. It was a pretty good movie about basically a heist movie in the after the Iraqi wars. It was a kind of an interesting movie. And then most recently he did Joy with Jennifer Lawrence back in 2015. Well, now his new movie, we don't know anything about it other than the fact that it's star-studded. I mean, look at this list of people. I mean, we've got Margot Robbie, Robert De Niro, John David Washington, Christian Bale, Chris Rock, Zoe Saldana, Anya Taylor-Joy, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers, Rami Malek, and Timothy Olyphant. And then it doesn't stop there. It just keeps going. I mean, this is just I'm just curious what this is going to be about. I mean, the idea that you have this many stars. I mean, this is going to be an interesting one. And David O. Russell is definitely one to watch. So we'll see how it goes. Now, this one happened over the weekend as well. We had this released on Deadline that Chris Evans was eyeing a return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, back as Captain America, and yeah, I mean, it just it caught everybody off guard, and it was like, wow, he just really left. So, like, what is this going to be all about? And it's just an interesting thing. I mean, there's all this talk about, is it going to be like a cameo type thing? Is he really not going to do his own movies, more, the Captain America movies, or is he going to be more of a side character in some other movies or even shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier? We didn't know, but what I thought was funny is that he tweeted news to me, and I thought this was pretty funny. Who knows what's going on right now? I mean, this could be just the simple, kind of misdirection that happens all the time in this industry. I mean, how many times have we been told, oh, no, this is what's going to happen, and then they turn around and do the thing that everybody, was already talking about. So it's going to be interesting. And I also thought this was really cute. Jamie Lee Curtis, who played Chris Evans' character's mom in Knives Out, she said, can I play your mother in every film you do? And he said, yeah, it's going in the contracts. I just thought that was kind of a cute little thing there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Is there any, substantial, I mean, is this a thing? Is this a thing, or is it just just wishful thinking? The idea that Deadline reported on it kind of gives me the idea that yeah, it's probably pretty accurate, but I guess we'll see. And what news of the week would be complete without us talking about a Ridley Scott project? Because Ridley Scott has been doing, he's been really busy. He's been filming The Last Duel, which is a historical epic starring Matt Damon, Adam Driver, and Ben Affleck. Yes, please. Yeah, let's see that right now, please, like right now. But yeah. So this movie Kitbag, which is about Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix, is gonna be over at Apple Studios. So Apple TV Plus will be getting this. This is interesting. Just the fact that Ridley Scott is involved. He's got a cinematic eye that I love it. I love his movies, even his bad movies. I still find something to love in them. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. And of course, Joaquin Phoenix is, the idea that Joaquin Phoenix at this point could really do just about anything, fresh off of his win as the Joker, it's pretty cool that he's going to be doing this. So we'll see how this one plays out. And it seems like I'm always talking about Moon Knight as well. And that's okay, because I'm really, really excited about it. But the news came out over the weekend that Ethan Hawke is going to be playing the villain in Moon Knight. I'm down. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see more about this project. I'm really excited to see how they're going to translate the design of Moon Knight over to live action. I'm just really excited to see where this goes. And the idea, I've said it before, the idea that they've got someone like Oscar Isaac to come in and play Moon Knight means that it's not just going to be a series. This is going to be a big thing, and I'm hoping that Moon Knight makes his way into the movies as well. So the cinematic universe for Marvel is it just keeps getting interesting. And in our final bit of news today, we've got this news, and this is really interesting to me, because you've got someone like Aaron Sorkin, right? Just one of the best writers of the last, 20 years, 30 years. If you guys haven't seen The Trial of the Chicago 7 over on Netflix, I highly recommend it. It is so well written, so well directed. It's such a good movie. But we've got him in his next movie project tackling Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. So, it's called Being the Ricardos, and it's going to be starring Javier Bardem and Nicole Kidman. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds perfect to me. That sounds awesome. And the idea that this is supposed to take place during the filming of I Love Lucy, and it's supposed to be like a day in the life, right? And there's something that happens, from what I hear, there's something that happens during the day of, in this day of filming I Love Lucy that sort of threatens their marriage and their careers. So it sounds like a fascinating story. And the idea that we have actors of this caliber doing Aaron Sorkin's dialogue, I'm totally in. I'm totally in. So yeah, this one's gonna be a fun one. Not sure when the release is, but yeah, it's this one's gonna be an interesting one. So yeah, that's all for the news. But I did want to touch on one more thing, and that was sort of my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. Now, WandaVision is the whole idea of the story was that, they were sort of, Wanda and Vision were stuck in a sort of almost like I Love Lucy in a weird way, and then things just keep getting weirder and weirder, and there's all this. I got to be honest, those first 2 episodes, I'm sitting there going, you know what, I'm liking this. I like this. I love the style of it. I love the fact that these 2 fantastic actors get to play a little bit and play outside the box a little bit. And it's almost like you say, okay, you take these characters, you take the idea of their characters, you put them in a sitcom from the 1950s. How would they act? And it's sort of genius and crazy and weird and strange, but I have no idea what's going on. I really don't. And after those first 2 episodes, as I said, I'm not going to get into spoilers. I just don't know what's going on. I have the idea that by the end of episode 3, we're going to learn a lot more about what is actually going on, because right now it's sort of up in the air. Not really sure what's going on. But I will say that right now I'm intrigued. Now, the weird thing about all this is that, if you look at the reviews online, there's a lot of people that are really not digging it. They're like, yeah, I don't really understand what's going on. I just don't understand. And I think a lot of people that may not have that sort of that familiarity with this style of TV show may not find the humor in it, and may not have the patience to stick around to find out what is actually going on. And I find that's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people don't have that sort of patience to let a show live and breathe and kind of slowly show what's going on. But I have to admit, in a time like this, the Marvel universe moves very, very fast. So this idea that they're putting on the brakes and trying to say, hey, just calm down, just come with us. Come with us and let this story unfold. It's definitely a risk. I will say that the way that the show looks, the way it feels, the sets, everything about it, it looks immaculate. It looks like something from that time period. And Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are fantastic. Like, I already knew Paul Bettany was good, but I hadn't really seen a whole lot from Elizabeth Olsen to show me that she's got this range. That to be able to play a lot of different parts. I mean, I've seen her in a couple of different things, but I was super impressed with the way her delivery. She's actually doing an amazing job of emulating the delivery of that time period. And Paul Bettany it's so much fun to see him get to just play around. Both of them are just playing around, and Catherine Hahn she's funny. She's really funny. And in that kind of style of sitcom from that time period. I'm really digging this. I'm hoping that people continue to enjoy it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, as you know, the next episode is going to be on Friday, so you better believe I'm going to be watching that one. So yeah, I guess that's the news for today. And as I said before, let's continue this conversation down in the comment section. What questions do you have? What comments do you have about anything we talked about today? Let's talk about it. And I will say, if you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, because we've got so much going on. We've got movie stuff going on. We've got game stuff going on. It's crazy around here, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.